Humans once lived according to the seasons. That seems so strange now, doesn't it? With the worldwide electrical grid and temperature-controlled houses, mass imports and exports of food making everything available, always, and of course the daily 8 to 5 required to pay for it all, I don't think most of us even notice the changing of the year anymore. Really, that's the strange part. Imagining a life lived with the land and according to the seasons just feels right, solid somehow, grounded in truth. Grow food for the winter when it's warm, try to stay alive when it's cold. It almost has this feeling of on and off, of productivity and rest. We don't live like that now. We've made a world that never sleeps. There is no on and off, it's just a perpetual on. Perspective is everything, of course. The grass is always greener. With modern amenities, we don't have to worry about freezing to death. That's nice. Then again, as sheltered as I probably sound saying this, sometimes I kinda wish we did have to worry about freezing. At least maybe just a little bit. I guess being so far removed from them, basic survival things just seem exciting. I know I'm not alone in feeling the draw to simpler times, where days might be spent outside and away from computer screens, growing food, gathering water, chopping wood, experiencing the changing of the year, even if the reality of that life would mean being uncomfortable, and would probably eventually lead to the same place we are now, just in reverse, longing for modern life. One can't help but feel nostalgia for the idea. Maybe it's true most of us no longer live according to the seasons, but they are changing. We're moving from summer to fall already, and I think now is the perfect time to pay attention, to wake up, you might say, and feel the changing of the year. How? Well, work is constant, and most of us can't simply drop everything to go live off-grid in a cabin, but there is one aspect of life entirely within our control: our training. I've talked about this a good deal before, how as working people, training represents what's possibly our only opportunity to truly play, to experiment, to have fun and push our bodies because it's exciting to do so. If we can't really live life by the seasons, perhaps we can tailor our training to them. It's autumn, and to me, that means reflection. This is an in-between place, a sort of home base, you might say. It's like the safe zones in Dark Souls games. It's Firelink Shrine. It's a place of stillness, a place where you can forget about the constant threat of attack for a while and reset. There's peace here, calm. The intensity of summer fades, winter creeps slowly closer, but neither rules here, not anymore, and not yet. Like in Firelink Shrine, there are dangers lurking nearby, just outside the walls. They are there, but they cannot pass the boundary of this place. After the many months of summer spent gathering experience, pushing yourself to your limits, here is where you might take that experience into yourself. Like the Ashen One who pushed through constant peril, trial, failure, and success, gathering souls that might be used to level up, so too might we take this season to realize all we've accomplished. The summer meant hard work, and with the winter comes a saga of strength, the winter bulk, but here and now is neither. Our world is forever on, but our training doesn't need to be. It's one variable we have complete control over. So, all of this to say, perhaps embrace the season and chill for a bit. Give your body a chance to level up, to take in all that experience you've built up, so you might feel ready to attack winter head on. There are many ways you might do this. The most obvious would be just taking some time off from training completely. I don't mean a full couple months or anything like that, but even just making yourself take that deload week you've been putting off can make a big difference in how the winter training arc goes. If you're anything like me though, actually taking some real time off probably won't happen. For you, I offer an alternate solution: train in nature. Even if it's just once a week as a replacement to one of your regular training days, it will make a difference. Nature has everything you need to exercise, and getting outside is healing. I think of gym training as pure fire. It's jumping into the furnace. You get in, work, push yourself to your limits, and make straight to the point gains. You know what needs to be done, and you do it. Training in nature is a bit slower, less like jumping into the furnace and more like sitting by the campfire. Say you find a stone, just a random rock in the woods that looks good for lifting. Rather than charging head on and throwing the thing around like you might do in the gym, here there's stillness. The stone comes from a time before. It understands the seasons, and there's wisdom to be gained from it. Approaching a new stone feels something very much like excited uncertainty mixed with wonder at the possibility of discovering something new. How might this stone be lifted? What's the texture like? How does it balance its weight? Are there handholds you can use or random lumps that might get in the way? Each stone is completely unique and has its own unique story too. Who lifted it in the past? Has anyone? What mountain was it a part of, if it ever was a mountain? Where is it from? Here? Or did someone move it here? Was it carried in a glacier from another place? What sort of energy does it have? People travel halfway across the world to lift historic stones, and that's awesome. But to me, I can't think of anything more exciting than lifting a stone I know nothing about. A random rock in the woods is a mystery, a relic of times long since past, and who can say the secrets held within? Training in the gym is usually just that, training, but lifting a stone is more like an experience. It's solving a puzzle and meeting a new friend. It's strength training and adventure into unknown places both. It's gym training with a touch of meditation or reading. It soothes the soul in a way, perfect for resetting. Maybe you find a tree with a perfect sturdy branch for climbing and doing pull-ups. Well, your previous rep records and all that data you have stored up from your time in the gym, it doesn't matter here. Every tree and every branch represents a completely unique opportunity for exercise. Pull-ups on one tree will feel different from pull-ups on another. There are always different obstacles to overcome. The thickness of the branch, the shape, can you actually grip it, or will you need to use a kind of open palm hand position, relying on isometric chest strength as much as anything else? Can you realistically pull yourself to one side of the tree, or will you need to do something more like side-to-side commando pull-ups? Each tree pull-up is a new exercise. Like the stone, this feels as much like adventure as it does training. Much of the intensity that you usually bring to the gym is replaced with a feeling of discovery. Out in nature is also the perfect place for running or sprinting. Unlike running on a treadmill, every trail and every hill has its own personality. The steepness of the incline, the number and variety of obstacles along the path, the length from start to end, all of these things mean every sprint is a unique experience. Running in the woods feels more like a game than it does exercise. Every step forward brings you closer to a surprise, a tree root, a cactus, a patch of mud. The idea of living life according to the seasons is connected to a time when man lived with the land and as a part of the environment, rather than as something disconnected from it. Well, running lets you explore the land, to really see what it's like. You can't run through the woods with your mind turned off. You have to pay attention or you'll trip. This training forces you to notice things you might not have noticed otherwise. And that's what this whole thing is about. Reflection and reset. Seeing things differently for a while, as they are different. Everything is changing by the day as winter approaches. Modern life may be a bit chaotic, but there's peace to be found in remembering the earth continues to turn as it always has. There are other forms of training you can do in nature too. A fallen log or an outcropping of stone represents the opportunity to jump, to practice a kind of natural parkour. Lately, whenever I head out to the woods to lift stones or sprint, I get carried away and end up just jumping around for an hour. It's too fun. You can carry random objects long distances, found object rucking style. I've described this as strength training travel in the past. I still like thinking about that. There's something about a journey that lifts the spirits. You can go bouldering, climbing rocks as you find them. Uneven terrain makes push-ups and other calisthenics exercises feel different than they would in the gym, and there's nothing like getting down in the dirt, feeling the forest floor beneath your hands. You can practice animal movement. I've been working with this stuff at home a bit, and I like it, but I have to say, something about crawling outside just adds so much to the experience. Becoming like an animal while wandering the woods makes that connection to the land even stronger, as if moving like a creature that still lives wild makes you wild too. What you'll notice is, all of these things are as much about discovery and play as they are work, and that makes them refreshing. They seem to build you up rather than tearing you down. They offer perspective and will likely rekindle that spark, preparing you for winter and the intense season of gains ahead. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any other ideas on training with the seasons, I'd love to hear them. I really like fall. It sort of feels like a time of magic, like all those elemental things, the stone, the tree, the hill, they seem to come alive just a bit. What better time to train with them? As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.